Hello, this is Lucas, otherwise known as Yukasabe, and I'm here again to make another ink review. So this time I'm looking at Diamine Green Black ink in the 30ml bottle. This is another ink that's really good for sketching but goes completely under the radar, and I'm basically just going to tell you why it's good for sketching. So it's quite a dark ink, as you can see, but it has a nice green tone, and in finer nibs it can almost look black until you add the water and it kind of comes to life a bit more. So for that reason it's good, because it's quite a good variation in the tone, good contrast. So it comes in a little 30ml bottle like this, Diamine Green Black, made in the UK, and in terms of pricing compared to your Mont Blancs and your Roshizuku, it's incredibly cost effective. So for that reasons it is one of my favourite inks straight away. I treat these as like ink samples, so I just stick with the 30ml bottles when I'm buying Diamine ink. So in this video I'm going to be using my Pilot Custom Heritage 91. This is a Japanese 14 karat fine nib, and it is a stupidly fine nib. It's so tiny to write with. I never ever write with this pen, but for sketching it's great. So I'm just pushing out a bit of ink. I'm using the knife to kind of move some of the colour around so you can see more of the pigment and the colour depth to it. So it starts off really dark when it's quite heavily condensed, but as it lightens out you get this nice kind of foresty green colour, which looks great when you're doing little inky drawings and messing about. So I thought I'd include a bit of a writing sample, but like I say, I never use this pen to write with. You will not catch me ever using this pen to write with. I use medium and broad nibs for writing and fine and medium nibs for sketching. That's the way it works for me anyway. I don't like the feeling of writing with fine nibs, but I know some people love them. But there again, in the up close you can see at the top of the letters you get the light green, and at the bottom of the letters you get the dark green. But this means it's great for sketching because you get a really good variation in the colour and the contrast. So you can see, just doing a bit of sketching, putting some water on, and it breaks down very easily, as you can see, almost always wipes away. I thought I'd show some artwork from last year of me doing some sketching with this ink. So this is what it looks like when you use it in a sketch, if you layer it up a bit with the lights and the darks, and it makes for a really nice kind of sketching ink. It lays on top. Obviously this paper isn't meant for that. I use watercolour paper whenever I'm doing my ink sketches, but it's a great ink and it's dead underrated, so I'd highly recommend it for drawing if you want to pick it up. It's £2.30 a bottle and you get really nice results out of it if you know what you're doing with it. I also thought I'd shove in a little bit of what I'm doing now. So I'm doing the 100 Faces challenge, so I've got it in this fine nib and I'm just sketching, no pencil, no rubbing out, just straight out of the pen. And I thought I'd chuck in a little time lapse of me sketching with ink. So you can see here it looks almost black, but as it kind of bunches up you get the hint of green, but it's when you really add the water on that you get the kind of forest green kind of pops out. But in terms of sketching it's great, it's nice and wet, it handles dead well, no feathering, no bleeding. It's kind of, in this pen it feels like you're writing with a really fine pencil that you can choose the colour of, and for that reason I absolutely love this pen for sketching with. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. These sketches aren't particularly exciting or great. Here's some more shots of the sketches I've been doing with this ink. You can see a bit more of the colour there, but it's dead nice, and for the money, £2.30, it's really worth it for me. I collect Diamine ink samples. I probably have 20-30 bottles of them just because they're so cheap, and I like testing them out with all my pens and seeing how they sketch. This ink works really well in this pen and finer nibs, so if you want another good recommendation for sketching, Diamine Green Black, I really recommend this ink. I always come back to it, sometimes leave it alone, but I always come back to it. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. I recommend the ink, and I'll see you in the next one. Follow me on my socials if you want to see more of my art, and yeah, so thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.